Prompted by the debate held in Parliament today concerning the proposals to cut the Education Maintenance Allowance, a number of students once again assembled in London to voice their anger. However, unlike the headline-grabbing demonstrations of past months, today was marked not by violence, but by dancing and dubstep music. The afternoon began at 4 p.m. in Piccadilly Circus, where head figures from the University of London Students' Union were waiting to lead students through central London towards Parliament Square. QMTV caught up with head of Birkbeck University Students' Council, Rillo-Raczka.
I think this idea that, kids are spending their money on booze or drugs or whatever is ridiculous. If you're living in London today or in Birmingham or Manchester or wherever, 30 quid for the poorest students to get your travel, to get your lunch. And actually, I'm not here to tell people what to spend their money on. I believe in giving people enough money to live on. And part of living is also having a good time.
Sean's sentiments were echoed by a number of students at today's protest.
Why do you believe EMA is such a good thing?
Because it enables many students who come from a lower socioeconomic background to go to school. I mean, it's not only about to have some extra money. I mean, some people, they buy their books from that, or some food or additional stuff.
This is Education Activist Network petition, and the Education Activist Network is trying to link up the struggle between the students in the FE colleges who can't afford to go to school anymore once the government cut EMA.
As always, there are also a number of eccentric characters showing their support for the student cause.
Well, I'm an agent of the government of the dead. So I'm not a member of the government because I'm getting on a bit, but I'm not quite dead yet. But in my government, you've got to be dead.
Okay, and why do you have to be dead in your government?
Well, because you can trust people. If the politicians are dead, you can probably trust them. But if they're not, if they're alive, you can know for certain they'll be subject to the temptations of the flesh. They'll have their fingers in the till. They'll be taking bribes. They'll be lying. So the moral is really the only good politician is a dead one, and the only good government's a dead one. So long live the government of the dead.
At 5 p.m, students began their procession towards Parliament Square, where the mood was decidedly relaxed and positive. Head of ULU, Claire Solomon, was pleased with the day's events.
It's excellent. I think that it shows you what can happen when students self-organise. I mean, you've had people from universities, but mainly from FE colleges and sixth forms, bringing small or large delegations from their colleges. Excellent.
QMTV also spoke to Amy Dunn, a sixth form student who spoke passionately at last month's rally, since when she has been speaking to national press.
And obviously you become a bit of a spokeswoman for the cause. You mentioned earlier that The Guardian, in fact, had a word with you. And what was it that you said to The Guardian? What did they ask you and what did you respond?
Well, they asked me what I would say to David Cameron if he was to come here and say hi to me now. So I said, right, I would say to David Cameron, if you're so intent on cutting benefits and saying it's so necessary, why don't you live 6 months with your wife and children on benefits in a council house with the challenge? You find a job that will support you and your family. Your time starts now. Let's go.
The afternoon ended without incident, which perhaps means that this protest will not garner as many national headlines, though this is not always an indicator of success.